Have you ever had a dream and then looked up what the meaning of that dream was? Well, I'm going to tell you today that those dream books or the websites you go to, whatever you use to help you determine the meaning of your dream, those are 100% accurate for the person who wrote the book. Your unconscious mind is highly symbolic. So those books or the websites, whatever you use to help decipher your dreams, those are absolutely accurate for the person who wrote it. And here's why. Because your unconscious mind is highly symbolic. It communicates through symbols. So those symbols that you're looking up, those have a meaning for you. That might not be the same meaning that I had for the person who wrote the description of the thing. Here's a good example. Years ago, I had a dream that I was floating out in the ocean and it was beautiful, crystal clear, turquoise water. The sun was shining, it was warm, it was very calm on the ocean. And I was floating. I could see people in the distance on the beach having fun and families. And uh, it was a beautiful, beautiful scene. And then I started to notice debris floating past me, objects like dressers, furniture, clothing, just all floating away, washing past me and drifting out to sea. And the feelings of this dream were calming, soothing, just peaceful. I woke up from it thinking that must have meant something. So I went online and I started looking up what does it mean? What does it mean to be floating out on the ocean? What does water in a dream mean? What do these symbols mean? And everything that came back sounded very dark. And I read things like, that it meant that there was stuff lurking underneath the surface, that there was unconscious stuff rising up that I needed to deal with, that there was unknown danger hiding beneath the surface. And the more I read, the more I thought, but that wasn't what my dream was about. That wasn't it. And then when I learned NLP, I learned how the unconscious mind communicates and realized, well, whoever wrote those descriptions, that's what it meant to them in their dreams, but that's not what those symbols meant to me. And so I asked myself later on, once I learned about this, what did that dream mean to me? And I realized that what it meant was that I was letting go of the past. That was the stuff washing away to sea, just disappearing, drifting away, that I was calm, I was safe, I was protected. So the dream had a very positive meaning for me. I was going through a transition in my life. This was the part of my life where I had just been introduced to NLP. I was letting go of a lot of my old emotional baggage. So of course, stuff is drifting away, washing out to sea. I was letting go of the past. I was letting go of obstacles. I was letting go of limiting beliefs. And I was setting out on a new course, which was then I set out to learn NLP. So this dream was very positive for me and very timely in where I was in my life. But if I went off what the website said, I would have been very misled in thinking that something was wrong, that there was danger. That's not what the dream meant. So those books, those websites, they're absolutely accurate for the person who wrote it. The best person to determine the meaning of your dreams is you, because they're your symbols from your unconscious mind. And the best way to unlock them is to ask yourself, what did it feel like? What were the emotions that were present? In my dream, I felt very calm, relaxed, peaceful. There was joy in the dream. It was a very positive dream for me. So your emotions that you feel in the dream are going to be very telling. They're kind of like the key that will unlock what the meaning of the dream is for you. So you are the best person to determine what those dreams mean. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up today was that I had a really interesting dream yesterday that I want to share with you because I got some powerful learnings from it that I think can be beneficial for all of us. So I'm going to be that person today that's going to share with you the thing that I dreamt about yesterday. I had 3 of these dreams in a row. It was almost like my unconscious mind was like, "You are going to get the lesson. You are going to get it. You still I'm not sure that you're clear on it yet. You're going to get it the 3rd time. You're going to get it clearly." So by the time I woke up from the 3rd one, I was like, "Okay, unconscious mind, I get you. I'm with you. I understand clearly. This is what it's about. This is what I needed to get." And I had a new perspective, a fresh outlook, if you will. So I have had this reoccurring nightmare, actually a series of them for several years. And if you've ever been an actor, if you've ever waited tables, if you've been a speaker, if you've been an entrepreneur, you might recognize these dreams. I'm talking about the actor's nightmare, the server's nightmare, the speaker's nightmare, the entrepreneur nightmare, and they all follow the same theme. So when I was an actor, I started having the actor's nightmares, and I still get them time to time. The actor's nightmare is you're on stage. Um, you're on stage. You don't know what the show is. You don't know your lines. You don't know what you're supposed to do. There's an audience. There's people on stage with you looking at you. You don't know what you're supposed to do or what your lines are. That's the typical actor's nightmare. The server's nightmare is you have a full section in a restaurant. And I started getting these when I waited tables in my early 20s. So I'm telling you, this has been like a long time I've had these dreams. You have a full section in a restaurant and you can't get to all your tables and people are mad at you and they're shouting at you and you can't get food out on time. You can't put your orders in. You can't seem to do anything because there's so much going on and you can't get to anyone on time. You can't do anything on time. The speaker's nightmare, much like the actor's nightmare. You're on stage, you're supposed to deliver a speech. You don't know what you're supposed to speak on. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what to do. The entrepreneur nightmare for me is a little bit different, but along the same lines where I've found myself in a job again. I mean, that is a nightmare. So I find myself in a job and I'm looking at the calendar and I'm scheduled to work on days that I don't want to work. And I tell the boss, I'm not available these days. And they say, well, yeah, you are now. This is your schedule. This is when you need to be working. And I don't want to work those days. And I can't understand why someone's in charge of my schedule. That's not when I'm supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be in charge of the schedule. So they all follow a very similar theme. Well, yesterday I had 3 server nightmares in a row. And I woke up after each one and then I fell asleep again. And it was like back into the same kind of scenario. So I had 3 server nightmares in a row, but they were different this time. In each one of them, the difference was that I'd be in the moment. I'd have the fully crowded section. In the first one, I was serving in a new restaurant that I had never served in before, and I didn't know the table numbers. And I had like half the restaurant I was responsible for. Um, it was crowded. Everyone came in at once. I couldn't get to the tables on time. But instead of panicking and feeling overwhelmed, I kept getting this voice in my head. I kept hearing this voice saying, you can just do one thing at a time. Just do the next step. Just take the next step. And in this dream, I was very calmly telling the tables, I'll be with you in just a moment. Please be patient. We're very short staffed today. It's my first day on the job, and I will be with you as soon as I possibly can. And I just kept saying that to people, and I calmly just went to the next step and the next step, telling myself, I can only do one thing at a time. I can just do the next thing that's in front of me. I can only face what's in front of me right now. And I woke up from that dream not feeling panicked the way I would normally would from those dreams, but very calm. And then I fell back to sleep right away after waking up. And I found myself in the same scenario, different restaurant, different layout, but it was the same thing. I can just do what's in front of me right now. I can just do one thing at a time. I can only face what's right in front of me. And I woke up from that one and thought, wow, that was really different. Same dream, but they're different. And then I fell asleep a 3rd time. And the 3rd one, I was working in a tea house again. It was probably one of the favorite jobs I had in my early 20s, was serving at a tea house. And I was working at this tea house, and it was, again, first day on the job. I didn't know where things were. We opened the doors in the morning and this flood of old ladies came in. They were all old ladies in the stream. Don't know why. They were all coming in for high tea service, and I didn't know where things were. I couldn't get to all the tables. But again, it was just this calm feeling of, You can just do one thing at a time. Just face the next thing in front of you. And I would just calmly tell these ladies that it's my first day on the job. We're very busy today. I'm going to be with you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for understanding. And I was very calm. I woke up from that one, and that was when I was like, okay, unconscious mind. I get it. I get it. There's a lot going on in life right now. There's a lot going on in the world. And I've been feeling overwhelmed, but I get it. I can only face one thing at a time. I can only handle the next thing in front of me. I can't worry about all these other things. I can't take on everything. I can just focus on the thing that's in front of me right now. It was a good lesson. And I thought, man, is this the lesson that these dreams have been trying to give me for the last like 20 years of my life? And I finally just got it. That was a long time coming. Like I finally just get what these dreams have been trying to teach me. So I'm curious to see if I'll ever have the server nightmare again, or if I finally got the lesson, if my unconscious mind finally decided to just like hit me over the head with it and say, get it, wake up, pay attention. You can only do one thing at a time. You can only focus on what's in front of you. Stop worrying about the state of the world. It's fine. So those were my dreams yesterday. And I've been doing this work for so many years now, and it still always amazes me how powerful the unconscious mind is, how intelligent our unconscious mind is, how much wisdom and capability that we have inside of us, the resources that we have inside of us that we have the potential to tap into each and every day. Your unconscious mind is powerful. Your unconscious mind is incredibly powerful. And your unconscious mind is here to serve you and to help you achieve what you want in life. So it's a really good idea to get to know it and to start listening to it. So all of that to say, when you have dreams, they can be rich in information and lessons for you if you're willing to pay attention and to look at the meaning of your dreams, not what someone else thinks your dreams mean, but to really get to know your unconscious mind. And a great way to get to know your unconscious mind is to pay attention to your dreams and ask yourself, what did that dream feel like? What were the emotions that were present? Can I learn from this dream? What do those symbols mean to me? And I think you'll learn a lot about yourself. Thanks for listening to me today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it with a friend, send me a message, or even leave a 5-star review. Those are always appreciated. Thanks so much for today. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.